Hey, what's up, my fellow collectors? I hope everyone had a fun and safe 4th of July. I had some family visiting. That's why I haven't been, able to upload as many videos as I would like to, because my YouTube room was kind of turned into a place for my dad to sleep. So yeah, but very happy to be back at it again, especially with what I found today. Check this out. I found the Spider-Man Marvel Legends Homecoming 2-pack with the Iron Man. I actually went out looking for the Cyclops and what was it, Phoenix, that 2-pack, and stumbled upon this. So very happy to have this. Let's check it out. It is just like basically the same packaging that we've gotten with the other 2-packs. You get the Legend series, get the big open window, shows both figures. Got the Spider-Man Homecoming logo, Spider-Man, Iron Man. On this side, we got a really cool picture of Spider-Man and Iron Man. On this side, we get the exact same picture. On the top, you get that little open window. On the bottom of the box, you get that. And on the back, you get the promo pictures along with a little bit of a read-up. But yeah, I'm definitely pumped. Even though I technically already have the Spider-Man, I do get the Tom Holland head, which is cool. And I'm excited for the Iron Man, because I don't think I have any other Marvel Legends Iron Man besides the black suit one. But yeah, let's crack these guys open and check them out. Okay, and here they are out of the packaging, and I gotta say, I'm definitely liking this 2-pack. Really, really nice. Of course, I mean, the Peter Parker, or the Homecoming Spider-Man, is pretty much the same figure we got before, but it's not. They changed some colors, and I'll show you on that one. But this is everything that we do get in this 2-pack. We get a masked version of the Spider-Man here. Oh, if I don't drop it. Now this one is a little bit different in his eyes. He has like this eye's a little bit closed. This one's a little bit open. I don't know how, damn, I can't keep this thing in my hands. I don't know how I feel about that 100%. It kind of looks a little bit goofy, and I mean, I imagine they intended to do that, unless it's just, sloppy paint work, but I think they intended this one to be a little bit more closed. We also get his little web effects that we got on the first one, and these actually stick in and stay better than the first one did. And as far as Iron Man, I mean, we get one blast effect, which is kind of disappointing, but if you're collecting Marvel Legends, Iron Man, you probably have a bunch of these, and you could probably use them with this figure. And then we get this cool kind of open mask with no face inside of it or anything, pretty much just to give you the armored look if you wanted to. So that's a nice touch, but really, really nice. I like the detail. I mean, inside is kind of plain. I mean, there's a little bit of sculpt work, but it's really just like a matte gray. But I mean, overall, the helmet looks good, looks really good. And that's it. I mean, we don't get any other hands, but of course, these hands can swap in between the other Spider-Man we got. And I only have one other Marvel Legends Iron Man in my collection, but I don't know. I'm sure this guy will probably, swap parts with other Iron Mans as well. But yeah, let's take a closer look first at Spider-Man, because he is definitely done well, and I'm sure a lot of you guys want to see this head sculpt. Now, as far as the head sculpt, I think Hasbro did a good job. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, the paint as well. Paint is nice. The eyes are painted nice. The skin tone is nice. The hair is pretty much, just a flat brown. There really isn't much shading going on in there. But I mean, as far as the face itself, I think they did a decent job. It kind of looks like him from certain angles. More or less this side, it kind of, like right there, I can definitely see the actor, but, it's Hasbro. So, I mean, we're kind of used to that. But as far as the rest of the suit looks really good. It's basically the same suit that we got with the other Homecoming Spider-Man, which I do like. Like I said before, I really like this suit style a lot more the more and more I see it. Whereas at first I didn't really care too much for it. but I'm really, really liking the suit. Now, as far as wondering if it's the same exact figure, it is, but it is a little bit different. The colors, they changed the colors, and I guess maybe they made it look more movie accurate as far as the colors, because let me pull this back a little bit and bring the other Spider-Man out here. And you can see that there is definitely a color difference between the two suits. This one is definitely a little bit kind of darker red and darker blue, whereas this one definitely has a lighter blue on this part of the costume, and the red is a little bit lighter as well. So it's not so like dark and saturated as this one is. So I mean, that's cool that they did change it up a little bit, you know, so you don't really feel like, oh, I'm just getting the exact same figure, even though it technically is as far as the molding of the body and everything. Now, as far as articulation, it's basically the same. You got a hinge. Oh, look, his head popped right off there. You have a hinge, so it gives you, I mean, this is with the head sculpt, the Tom Holland head sculpt. The hair kind of limits it a little bit, but you get up and down about that much. Of course, you get full swivel. You don't really get any pivot or anything like that. You get these nice kind of butterfly shoulders, and the arm comes up about that much. And of course, that butterfly is really, really nice back. Really, really nice forward. You do get the bicep swivel. You get double jointed elbows. And of course, the hands swivel and hinge. You get that cut right there. It gives them really, really nice forward. Really nice back. Of course, you have a waist swivel. The legs only come out about that much. Kick forward that much. Kick back, but you know, it kind of kicks it out because of the sculpt. You do get a rotation around the ball joint right there. And then of course they have that cut right here, so you get rotation there as well. Mine's really, really stuck, but the line is there, so you do get rotation. This one moves a little bit better for me, just to show you guys. And let me line that back up. And then of course you have your double jointed knees, and you have a hinge at the foot that brings it all the way back, brings it that much forward, and of course you do get the pivot. So I mean, overall, I definitely like it. I like that they changed the colors. You know, I think the Tom Holland head sculpt, you know, for Hasbro, I think looks good, you know. Let me pop it off and show you what he looks like with the other head sculpt, with the masked head sculpt. Come on. So I mean, he looks good with it, but I don't know, I just, something about that squinty eye just makes him look like confused or something. But I mean, I do like it. It does look good. And you can of course swap the, you know, Tom Holland head and put it on the other Spider-Man, you know, if you actually like that darker color. So I mean, it works both. Looks, I mean, it does look a little bit big on the body, just a little bit though. You know, I mean, I actually think it looks really good on both bodies. So you can swap, you know, those heads out between. So let's take a look at the Iron Man. Oh, and vice versa, you can pop the other Spider-Man head that you get, or the wide open one anyway, and put it on the newer body. Now there is a little tiny bit of, you know, you can tell the difference in this kind of the mask as far as the body, but it's really not that bad. I mean, it doesn't bring it out that much, but you can tell that there's a slight difference in color of the red compared to the rest of the body. But yeah, let's take a look at Iron Man. Oh, you know what? Let me show you guys that the little wing effects actually work much better on this figure than it did on the other one. They definitely peg in there and stay. I mean, the other one, the single carded figure, I couldn't get these to work at all. But this one actually works and stays on there really well. So I don't know if maybe they improved on that, but it definitely holds better. I mean, I don't think I would really ever use these, but it is good that, you know, they did change it and makes it so that it actually works, because on the other one it didn't work at all. Now, as far as Iron Man goes, I think it came out good. I mean, I like the head sculpt and I like the armor look and everything like that. I think the gray is just a little bit too flat. You know, I mean, actually the camera, like through the view, you know, with it picking up all the lights, makes it look really nice. It's much more dull in hand. And same thing with the boots. The boots just look a little bit, I don't know, like plain Jane or something. Just kind of like thrown together really quick just to get the Tom Holland head on the other Spider-Man or something like that. But I mean, overall, it looks good. I mean, I'm glad to have them because I don't really have very many Iron Mans in my collection. So I'm definitely glad to, you know, finally add one. His legs and thighs look really, really big. And I mean, I've heard that complaint even in some of the other Iron Man Marvel Legends figures that we've gotten. But yeah, his definitely not so much like his thighs, but just like his boots. From his boots down, they just look really, really big for whatever reason. But now as far as his articulation, you do get nice articulation. You got a hinge, and I guess all the heads. Why did I have these heads back so far? You do get a hinge, so it gets him to look up about that much. He will look down a really, really nice amount. You do get swivel, of course, and you don't really get any pivot, but you do get like a little bit of a forward and back shift on that ball. The arms, these shoulder pad pieces are a little bit on the soft side, but his arms only come out about that much. Of course, that will rotate around. You do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which, you know, don't really give you much range, and it's actually pretty ugly. But I mean, you know, you do get some range out of that. And as far as the hands, they do rotate and hinge. I gotta say, his gloves, you know, there's not much to the gloves. Basically, all the flat gray parts just, I think, look odd because there's nothing else. Like I said, you're catching that shine from the light in hand. It is very, very kind of like plain and boring looking, you know. I do like that they, you know, gave some color. Off the top of my head, I can't think of what that thing is called right there, but that looks good. And I mean, the red and the gold on the armor came out good, you know, for the most part. It does look good. It's just this plain gray. I don't know, something about it bugs me. You do get this cut, and you get nice movement in that. You get, you know, full rotation, you get side to side, you get pretty much all around. So nice range. Mine's a little bit loose too. Now the legs, you don't really get much this way. You don't really get much forward. You don't really get much back. You do get a rotation right here, and mine was really, really stuck, and it kind of still is really stuck, but that does rotate. Get double jointed legs, which work surprisingly well, much better than the arms do. And of course, down at the feet, you get a hinge, so you can bring it back about that far, bring it forward about that far, and you do get pivot. So I mean, overall, I like it. I'm definitely glad. Like I said, I was out looking for the Cyclops and Phoenix 2-pack, and I was really surprised when I saw these. I was like, oh yeah, I'll take this. Shoot, I've been looking for this, you know, anyway as well. Let me show you guys what it looks like with the helmet with no head in it. So if you just want to display your Iron Man as if, you know, it's just kind of the suit laying there, I mean, it works. It's a little strange that you kind of get the one wide open hand and then the one fist hand. It would have been nice if they would have included, you you know, another pair of one of those. So at least when you are like this in the just the suit mode, you're not getting you know, that like one fist and one kind of splayed out hand. That's a little bit odd, but I mean, you know, it is an option. It's another option of how, you know, you want to display your Iron Man. That looks good. Now, to me, as far as articulation, you get the same kind of up and down. You do get side to side. You don't really get any pivot, but that's what it looks like with the other head on. Now, as far as comparisons, or let me give you a height measurement first. Let me try to stand him up straight. Now, Iron Man is right about 6.5 inches tall, and Spider-Man is a little over 5.5. So I think the comparison between these two is good. I mean, I do think Iron Man's a little bit on the tall side, but you know, it works because obviously, you know, Peter Parker is 15 and Iron Man, you know, I don't know if it's accurate is what I mean as far as scale with the actors. But as far as some other comparisons, this is the other Iron Man that I have in my collection that is Marvel Legends. And I know this isn't a Tony Stark Iron Man, but it will give you a little bit of a comparison as to what this one will look like on the shelf. And where's my other Spider-Man? I guess I didn't bring my other Spider-Man in here. But here is the Vulture next to the new Spider-Man. And here is a DC Collectibles Flash and a Black Series Han Solo. So that just gives you a little bit of comparison between some other figures as to what these guys are going to look like on the shelf. But yeah, that's it, guys. Very, very pumped to find this. I found this at Toys R Us. Now, I don't think this is an exclusive. Actually, yeah, where's the box at? Yeah, it doesn't have any Toys R Us exclusive on the box. The Cyclops and Phoenix set is, though, which was, like I said, the main reason why I was up there to find that. But yeah, very, very cool set, guys. Like I said, you're getting the Tom Holland head, which I'm sure will work with other figures, you know, if you just have like a suit version or something like that. You get the new Iron Man, so very cool. You do get the option of just having the armor displayed if you want. So, I mean, you do get the blast effects, which I didn't show you guys. Let's pop that bad boy in there. So, I mean, gives you a little bit of a blast effect. So that looks good. Like I said, I mean, the effect looks good. It's got some nice color. And I like how this translucent blue and the white and all. So it definitely looks good. So I mean, paying, you know, $20 for each figure, I think isn't bad with what we do get. You know, the little web things do work finally, so that's nice. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the Marvel Legends 2-pack Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man, and Iron Man with the new Tom Holland head. That's the review, guys. I'm back at it again, so be looking forward to, I got a Predator, and what else do I have? I have a Dragon Ball Z figure model kit that I'm looking forward to because that's my first model kit. But yeah, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the review. I'll catch you on the next figure review. Have a good night.